And this is what kind of gets me nervous, because KD literally had the audacity to put this in text, not realizing people could screenshot stuff. Hey, how's it going? I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV, and in this video, I'm going to be discussing Kevin Durant's recent back and forth with a Knicks IG page. The name of the IG page is Make the Knicks Great Again. And in the back and forth, Kevin Durant and the fan page are basically discussing his decision to sign with the Nets over the Knicks last offseason. But before I get into it, if you're into Knicks videos, I drop videos 3 to 4 times a week, and once the season starts, I'll be dropping them daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, that way you're notified whenever I drop new content. So with that being said, let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the DMs up on the screen for you guys as I read along. You guys can pause and read it for yourself. It's up to you. So basically, the Knicks fan page starts. It's just crazy to me that Knicks fans encouraging you to come offended you. It's what fan bases do, which is correct. That's pretty much what fan bases do. We reach out to players, let them know we want them to be there, and we let them know that we would appreciate their services. I can't hate on your choice because you chose to play with your buddy, but the fact you still talk bad on us is still ridiculous. And that's a fact. Every minute that Kevin Durant is able to throw some shade at the Knicks, he chooses to do so. I have a lot of Knicks friends. I'm in a lot of Knicks groups. We talk on Facebook, Instagram, things of that nature. And I don't hear anybody clamoring about or being upset that KD didn't come to the Knicks. Most Knicks fans are upset that KP got traded and we did nothing with the money or the cap space. It's not necessarily we're upset KD didn't come. We're upset that they traded KP, sold us on something that didn't necessarily happen. So now we're upset. Basically, don't promise us something and fail to deliver. But we won't get into that right now. We'll get into what KD is saying. He said, I didn't say it offended me. When did I say that? Maybe I forgot. KD, it's not what you say. It's your actions and how you go on your burner accounts talking crazy. But I digress. Quote unquote. This is the actual fan page responding. Quote unquote. They bothered me the whole year. How does fans saying they want you such an issue that it bothers you? You've been through this many times before in your career and way worse. I got a question. I really want to know. All those insiders like Wrek who was saying KD to the Knicks was a done deal were all fake news? Actually curious. Let me go to the next. Answer that, because I actually want to know if you changed your mind or the media put out fake news to shame Knicks fans. And this is where Knicks fans have a real weird relationship with the media, because the media is always claiming that these players want to come play for the Knicks or that we are in negotiations to bring in top level talent, and it never materializes, unfortunately. So Kevin Durant responds, I look at it this way. I played for another team and I understand Knicks fans wanting me to play for them, but believing the media and thinking that it's actually going to happen became bothersome. I just wanted the respect for my current team and also the current players on the Knicks. I felt we could have talked about it after the season, just my thoughts, but I understand why you don't get how I feel. And you believe in Wrek, a whole bunch of laughing emojis. Fan page responds, you know what? I get you now, but I don't think you can get mad at the Knicks fans. All these reports came out saying it was a done deal and stuff, and we were trying to make you feel as welcome as possible until then. Some reporters were saying you had private meetings with the Knicks, and Dolan said big stars are reaching out to us. From my point, I was thinking no way are the Knicks this dumb to trade away KP, and this is basically what Knicks fans are upset about. From my point of view, I was thinking no way are the Knicks this dumb to trade away KP for a deal this bad just 1 hour after he requests out, unless they have some pathway to get KD we don't know about. Then all the reports were saying KD and the Knicks are a done deal. It was making too much sense, yo. And this is where a lot of the disappointment for Knicks fans comes, because it pretty much seemed like everything was set in motion. We were going to get KD +1, whoever that +1 could have been, Kyrie or whatever other superstar. And we were actually going to be competitive moving forward. And all that was basically thrown out the window when KD tore his Achilles. And you guys know, I'm pretty sure you guys watched that finals. So KD now responds, "You thinking I was mad is the problem. I wasn't mad. I see it from your point of view, but the anger should be at the people who sold you these dreams, not me." And KD in that situation right there is speaking facts. KD never publicly came out and said he was going to come to the Knicks, or he wanted to be with the Knicks, or he wanted to be in New York. It was just sources around him, either in the media or people within the actual Knicks organizations that were hinting at it. So I'll give Kevin Durant some credit there. He never did say out of his mouth that he was coming and then reneged on the deal. So Kevin Durant responds as well, "LOL at me having a private meeting. It's so easy to believe the media. I get it, but sometimes they fabricate ish." And, you know, the Instagrammer responds, "Yeah, you can't really get mad at us. And to be honest, we can't really get mad at you. It's the media that created this false narrative. But here's the $1 million question. Did you actually want to come to the Knicks before the injury, or all these media outlets putting out fake news?" Initially, Kevin Durant deflects. He doesn't really get into it. This is what he says. "Why do you think my injury had anything to do with free agency?" The person on the IG account responds, "The rumor was you were set to come here to the Knicks, but after you got injured, you changed your mind," which is pretty much what they said. He injured his Achilles during that finals run. And basically, he decided that he didn't want to come and bear that burden of saving, quote unquote, saving the Knicks. Meanwhile, he was going to be a compromised player fresh off an Achilles tear. So that too was understandable as well. But he's the person on IG is trying to confirm that's the reason that he actually left. So now let's see what he says. Instead, he can't deflect anymore because he asked a direct question. And here it goes. He says, rumors. Once again, he doesn't, explicitly say, no, the injury isn't what caused me to decide not to come to the Knicks. That was never a foregone conclusion, blah, blah, blah. But once again, the IG account presses even further. "Just for the record, you never had interest to come to New York, and these media outlets are still putting out fake news to hype up stuff and to make the Knicks look stupid." KD responds, "They do that with every big free agent at some point as a Knicks fan. You have to understand what they are doing. I will tell you one thing. My best friend and my dad loves the Knicks. That's all the ammo they needed to run with the narratives." And the best friend, if I'm not mistaken, would be, what's his name, Rich Kleinberg or Kleinman. That's KD's agent as well as close friend. The IG account responds, "Yeah, a lot of stuff pushed the narrative, hype it up to make us look worse than it feels." And this is what kind of gets me nervous, because KD literally had the audacity to put this in text, not realizing people could screenshot stuff. So he says, "There's a lot of hate in NBA circles for James Dolan, so I understand." And as a Knicks fan, it's very demoralizing hearing KD, a marquee talent, say something like that. If Kevin Durant is comfortable enough saying something like that, then I'm pretty positive that most players feel the same way, or most players at that level feel that way, if KD is going to be, brazen enough to actually put that into text. So as a Knicks fan, that's a little disheartening, or very disheartening. And it kind of explains why we've, been hitting and missing when it comes to these free agent pickups that we've been talking about or hoping for. So there's a few more texts in the thread. The IG responds, "Yeah, I don't think he's a bad person anymore. He hasn't got involved in any basketball moves since 2014, but his bad figure status remains. Now that Steve Mills and that damn Fizdale are out, and we brought in Leon Rose, Steve Stout, and World Wide West." I don't know why he mentioned Steve Stout. Most of the public-facing dealings that Steve Stout has had have been negative. There was that big fiasco on First Take where the New York Knicks had to issue a statement saying Steve Stout didn't have the authority to say that we'd be moving on to another coach at the end of the season. But I digress. Steve Stout and World Wide West. Things might finally change around, but they need to actually win and be respectable. That's a big reason why you went to the Nets. They showed that they're a respectable franchise, while the Knicks were trying to recruit coming off 17 wins. That's understandable as well. And KD kind of gives his blessing to Leon and Wes. He says Leon and Wes will do a great job. You see, he didn't mention Steve Stout. I'm just saying. And pretty much it's the end of it. God willing, gonna be honest, I really don't like you. I really didn't like you before this, but now you gave my respect. Although we will be crosstown rivals, there's no more. Now that we're crosstown rivals, there's no more animosity. Good luck on your bounce back season, my guy. And then KD responds, thanks, champ. So there's a lot you can take away from that little back and forth thread. The biggest takeaway was him confirming players do not want to deal with Dolan. That's very disheartening as a Knicks fan. You know, we're trying to find that next piece to bring us to prosperity. We're trying to find that next piece to bring us to prosperity. I should have been a rapper. Yeah, that wasn't going to work, but I'm digressing and rambling. As a Knicks fan, it's kind of crazy to actually hear KD say that, but I'm actually glad KD didn't come. It seems like him and Kyrie as a tandem could be a headache. I don't know why KD's still talking about us. As far, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't really see Knicks people or Knicks fans talking about KD that much. Most of the things Knicks fans are talking about are about our team. We're not really worried about the Nets. I don't even watch the Nets games like that. You know, yeah, they're the New York team, but I ain't worried about them. Only reason I go to a Nets game is because their tickets are so cheap. So I don't know why KD feels he has to fix his lips to always kind of take shots at Knicks fans. You know, mind your business. Go do what you got to do over there in Brooklyn. Hopefully you guys do half decent. You got a new coach. You got more important things you need to worry about. You need to worry about the Nets, and we need to worry about building this program with Tom Thibodeau and all these other new pieces that we're bringing in. All right. So if you like the video, make sure you like and share. Once again, I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.